Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you guys how to make this crochet ruffle bag. It's a super easy make. I think that anyone with basic crochet knowledge would be able to make this. And I feel like I went through the steps pretty slowly, so I think that everyone's going to be able to make this. So without further ado, let's get started with the tutorial. To make this bag, I'll be using the Caron Cakes yarn, and you'll need around 75 grams of yarn. I'll also be using the Caron Simply Soft yarn in the color pink, and I'll be using approximately 45 grams. You'll also need a 5mm hook, some scissors, a needle to weave in the ends, stitch markers, and a magnetic button if you want. That's really optional. And before we start, I just wanted to let you guys know that I made a written pattern and it's available on my Etsy shop. So I'll leave the link of my Etsy shop down in the description. We're going to start by making a slip stitch. So take your yarn and roll it on your fingers like this. So before we start, you should add 1mm to your hook for the foundation chain. So for the project, I'm going to be using a 5mm hook, but for the foundation chain, I'll be using a 6mm hook. So pass your hook underneath here and grab this. Take off your fingers and pull. And then pull again to adjust it to your hook. The next step is to chain 31. So yarn over and pull through. That's one chain. Yarn over, pull through. That's 2 chains. 3, 4. So continue this until you have 31 chains on your hook. When you're done chaining 31, you're going to switch over to your regular hook. So I'm going to switch over to my 5mm hook. To start row 1, we're not going to be working on this side of the foundation chain. We're going to turn it and work on the back bars. So the back bars are the little bumps you see coming out like this. So in row 1, we're going to make 30 single crochets in the back bar. So skip the first back bar and insert your hook in the second one. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over and pull through. If you're a beginner, I suggest you put a stitch marker on your first stitch and your last stitch. So we're going to continue making single crochets all across. At the end of row 1, you should have 30 single crochets. So insert your hook in the back bar, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, insert your hook in the back bar, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Again. So do this all across, and I'll see you guys when I'll have one last stitch to make. So I've made 29 single crochets. I have one last stitch to make. When you're done with your last stitch, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So to start row 2, we're going to skip the chain we've just made and insert our hook in the first stitch. We're going to make 30 single crochets in the back loop only. So skip the first chain and insert your hook in the first stitch in the back loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So as I said before, if you're a beginner, you should put a stitch marker there. And we're going to repeat the same thing all across. So insert your hook in the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Back loop, and make a single crochet. So I'll see you guys when I have one last stitch to make. So here I've done 29 single crochets in the back loop. I'm going to make a last one, so I'm going to take off my stitch marker and do one last single crochet. When you're done, you're going to chain 1, and now we're going to start to make the thermal stitch. To make the thermal stitch, you're always going to skip the chain and then insert your hook in the first stitch, and you're also going to insert your hook in the loop right below your first loop. So in this loop here. So you're gonna do a regular single crochet. You're gonna yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, and then we're gonna put back our stitch marker there. Again, we're gonna insert our hook in the back loop and in the loop right below it, like this. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, insert your hook in the back loop and in the loop right below. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. So I'll show you guys one last time. So this is right now the front. I'm gonna insert my hook in the back loop and in the loop right below it. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So I'll see you guys when I'll have one last stitch. So here I have one last stitch. So I insert my hook in the back loop here and in the one below. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we're going to chain 1, turn our work. So we're now done with row 3, and we have 26 more rows of the thermal stitch to make. So skip the chain, insert your hook in the first stitch in the back loop, and then insert your hook in the loop right below. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and put back your stitch marker. So I'm going to show you guys again. So insert your hook in the back loop and in the loop right below. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Insert your hook in the back loop and in the loop below. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So you can now just continue making thermal stitches and chaining 1, and then turning your work until you have completed 27 rows of the thermal stitch. We've already completed one together, which is row 3, and now we've started row 4, which is the second row of the thermal stitch. So you can just continue this. And I'll see you guys when I'm done with my panel. I'm now going to show you guys how to count rows of the thermal stitch because I know it can get very confusing. So if we go back a little, we made 1 row of the single crochet in the back bar, 1 row of the single crochet in the back loop only, so that's 2 rows, and then we've made 27 rows of the thermal stitch, so that's a total of 29 rows. So now how to count this? If you look at this side here, it's completely flat. And if we turn it, it's not flat on this side. So as you can see, this part is a little like sunken, and this part too. Let's start with the flat side. If we start counting these little stitches, for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So remember 15, and then if we turn it, we once again have to count the stitches on this side, but we only have to count the stitches that are sticking out, so we don't count the row on the top and the row on the bottom. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 rows. So if we add 15 plus 14, that's 29. So to know the amount of thermal stitches that you've done, you have to subtract 2. So 29 minus 2 is 27. So that's how you count the thermal stitch. Here I have one last stitch to make before I'm done with my panel. When you're done with your last stitch, you're going to chain 1 and pull some yarn. You're then going to cut it. and you can pull over here to tighten it. Here we have our first panel, and now you can go ahead and make a second one, and I'll see you guys when you're done doing that. We're now going to make the strap of the bag. So to make the strap, we're going to follow the same exact steps we've done to make the two panels. The only difference is that we're going to chain 125 instead of 30. So make again a slip knot. And chain 125. When you're done doing all of your chains, we're going to turn our foundation chain and work on the back bars. So I'm not gonna go over the steps again just because it's the exact same thing as the two panels. When you're done doing your 124 single crochets, you can chain one and turn your work. And now we're going to make 124 single crochets in the back loop only. So we're gonna skip the chain and make 124 single crochets in the back loop. When you're done with your 124 single crochets in the back loop, you're going to chain one and turn your work. And now you're going to make 3 rows of the thermal stitch, and then you're going to be done with your strap. So I'm going to do 3 rows of the thermal stitch off camera, and I'll see you guys when I'm done. So here I have one last stitch to make before I'm done with my 3 rows of the thermal stitch. When you're done with your last chain, you're just going to pull some yarn around maybe 15 to 20 centimeters, and then you're going to cut it. Then with your excess yarn, you're going to attach the two end parts together. So when you're done sewing the two parts together, you can make a knot with the 2 remaining tails and then weave them inside of your strap. We're now going to start assembling, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So the first thing I do is that I put stitch markers on where I want my strap to be. So the first thing I do is that I align the corner that we've sewed in with a corner of the panel. So I'll align this to this corner. So this is going to be the outside of the bag, and the flat side of your strap needs to be facing outward too. And if you remember, we made 30 stitches on the bottom, so now we have to go ahead and count 30 stitches from here. I've counted and I have 30 stitches here, so I'm gonna align this with the other corner here. And then if you remember, we have 15 rows here, so I'm gonna go ahead and count 15 on this side and 15 on this side, and then align it with the corners on the top. So here everything is aligned. We're gonna turn this around, but we really have to make sure that we align the two panels correctly together so they don't end up like crooked like this. So you have to come here, look at it up close, and you have to go and make like a straight line. So from this stitch you make a straight line and then put a stitch marker right on the other side, so you know that they're on the same level. So one here, then another one here, and then another one over here, and lastly on this last corner here. And now we can just align it to this panel. So here everything is aligned and we're ready to assemble everything. To assemble, you're gonna take your other color of yarn. To assemble, we're going to insert our hook in the loop that's closest to us and also in this little loop here. So if you look at it, you kind of have V's on this side. And you can see that in the V there's two loops. So one that's pointing inwards towards the inside of the bag and one pointing outwards, pointing the outside of the bag. So we're going to insert our hook in the little loop that's pointing outward. Insert your hook. You're going to pull some yarn. And you're going to chain 2. So this chain 2 counts as our first double crochet, so we're gonna make 2 more double crochets in the same stitch. So insert your hook in the same loops and make a double crochet like this. And we have to make another one, so yarn over, insert your hook in the same little holes, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So this counts as 3 double crochets. So now we're going to insert our hook in the next stitch. So insert your hook in the loop that's closest to you, and then we're gonna go and find the little V and insert our hook in the loop, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet. We have to make 2 more in the same hole. And this is 3. So now that we're done with our 3 double crochets, we're going to yarn over and find our other loop, and in the V in the front like this, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1 double crochet. We have 2 more to put in the same hole. And then for the third one, so here we have 3 double crochets in the same stitch. So that's really all you have to do all around. I'm gonna show you guys one last time how to do this, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I make the ruffle on the strap when there's no panel to attach to it. So I'm gonna show you guys one last time. You yarn over, you go and find your front loop here, and then you go find the little V. This one's a bit hard to see, but it's here. If it's too tight, you can just insert a little needle to make it looser. So when your hook is inside, you can yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and make 2 more double crochets in the same hole. So continue this and I'll show you how to make the ruffle on this strap. So when you get to the strap, the only difference is that you're going to insert your hook through both loops here like this, but you're still going to make 3 double crochets in the 2 loops. like this. So again, you're gonna yarn over and insert your hook through both loops like this. So you're going to continue making these ruffles by making 3 double crochets in each stitch. So you're gonna do that all around your bag. And I forgot to mention, but when you get to the bottom part here, you have to insert your hook in the loop that's closest to you, and then in the front loop of the panel, so like this here. So in these little loops here in the front. When you're done doing your last 3 double crochets, you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to slip stitch in your first stitch. So insert your hook in your first stitch, yarn over and pull through, and pull through once again. So it's a little tight, but okay, pull through, and then you can pull some yarn and cut it. And then you can pass the yarn through the other side. So take your needle and pass it through to put the tail inside of your bag. So you're then going to be able to make a knot with these 2 tails. So here we have our first side. Then we can go ahead and make the same thing on the other side. Okay, so here I'm done doing all of the ruffles. I'm going to show you guys how to weave in this little tail. You can turn your bag inside out. Then you're going to take your tail and pass it through here. Then you're going to pull on it like this. And then you're gonna pass it through again here, and then pass this little tail in the hole and pull. And now you can weave it in inside of your bag. And cut the excess off. So here we have the final result. I hope you guys enjoyed making this little bag. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.